What does it really mean to invest in the Black community? It means empowering the Black financial institution behind that dollar. This is Banking on Us.
Let's talk about getting a mortgage.
I believe that home ownership is essential for the Black community.
We were like two old hippies, two old green heads. When we got our first car, I paid that 23% because I didn't have bad credit, I had no credit. But I think a lot of times it's just that we don't think long term.
The joys of home ownership are real, but so are the challenges.
Poverty has a way of recycling itself. If you're born a certain way, it's hard to get out.
My name is Aaron Mitchell, and I lead HR for Netflix Animation Studios. My wife and I decided we need to buy a house. Wife had a good job, really good credit, and when it came time for our mortgage, the only option that was made available was a subprime mortgage. A couple years after the piece of property that we purchased was now less than half of what we purchased. Our mortgage payments were about to go through the roof while the value of the home cratered. We later found out many of these banks just discriminated. That was revealed in the court of law. And we were having these debates about all the things that went wrong and all the people who did things wrong. And I'm like, I'm one of those stupid people, and I'm not that stupid. This isn't about stupid people. This is about a system that was designed for people to be taken advantage of.
The American dream has always been the white picket fence, sharp-cut green grass, a yard, and coming home to your family after a long, hard day to a safe environment, right? Well, the Black American dream is a bit deferred. In fact, Black homeownership is about 30% behind white Americans. Black people go through extremities compared to other Americans when buying a home. Black families experience difficult standards during the process for purchasing, and in general are subject to lower value homes. Plus, they're getting taxed with much higher rates from the banks. On top of all this, Black families are typically bringing in student loan debt, multifamilies with on average little to no generational wealth, and in turn, using their pensions or 401k to offset the down payment costs, which then incurs a penalty. Money is being lost. And don't even get us started on the leaps and bounds needed for Black people to also sell their homes at the actual old value. The real estate and homeowners market is the wild, wild west, and they're making a lot of effort to make sure Black people only have access to ride on the smaller horses while everyone else seems to have the most fit horses across the lands. Well, there are some things that we just can't run away from, so let's run towards it.
To be a homeowner and a person of color, it's the first step in generational wealth. It's one of the greatest accomplishments I've ever made. My name is Dominique Lumpkin. I'm a Memphis, Tennessee native. Appraisals are a little bit racially motivated. I just know from experiences with other first-time home buyers that a lot of the appraisals for their houses seem to be a little bit more than market value because of the neighborhood. We hope. I became a homeowner in 3 months for less than $5,000. I'm a part of their zero down program. What they did was they upfronted all of the down payment costs. I only had to pay for closing.
To be able to have those conversations with people that didn't have a clue that that was possible for them.
We had paid rent for a while, so we got to a certain point in our life, we realized that in order to really accumulate some wealth, that we need to perhaps think in terms of trying to buy a home.
In 2015, I was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and that sort of put a halt on the home hunt.
The people at Hope were very, 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 very helpful and encouraging along the way. We, for the same money, we got twice as much house. So I think for me, and I know for her to a certain degree as well, it's just growing up feeling like ownership is the key. I value the fact that they, in my eyes, went the extra mile to help us realize our dream.
I have a place that is my own, that is my land, that no one has permission to walk upon my land without my approval. It's power.
And so I think about the importance of telling these stories about Black businesses thriving, Black communities thriving, Black people thriving as a result of being empowered by capital. I think a lot of people have just assumed that there's no way to solve these problems, or that maybe folks are not progressing because they choose this. But really, the reality is, if you can just correct some of the wrongs in these systems, then these communities can flourish, and we all flourish as a result.